finish.
Timeline of
But
what?
please allow me to finish. This is not fair. What is happening is the patients are getting upset.
Still
because
not
they're
in
being-
place.
Will you please allow me to
Fine.
finish? Well, the patients are getting upset because referrals are made to the wrong hospitals which don't have the capacity. And then they take out their anger on the doctors who are on duty. So all I'm saying, they must ensure that the reference is made to a hospital which has a free bed. Sometimes referrals are made to hospitals which don't have a free bed. Secondly, that the referral has the necessary. And thirdly, that the doctor is available with that specialization. Then the patient will be satisfied. If the patient is satisfied, the doctor will not be attacked. That is the real problem.
Kindly have page
It's
9.
about patients. It's
Finish.
about the
Look at page
patients
9.
not getting what they want.
Since the system is being rolled out by the state government,
We completed by
Government-
1st November.
and is expected to be completed by 1 November 2024, the state government shall take due steps to ensure that the IHMS inter alia factors in bracket 1, the availability of free beds, semicolon, the availability of expertise in the medical health facility, 3, the availability of doctors with the requisite specialization.
In medicine, my lord. Sometimes medicine is not available.
And you've said facility.
Yes, my lord. Very well.
Many things.
Medical
The point that they have made.
I appreciate, Milord, but it has to be resolved there, Milord.
Right, we've flagged it, that's all.
Appreciate, Milord.
Malad, just one
Lords, in this
suggestion.
regard,
I do
just
not
one
know
more
whether
suggestion.
The affidavit, they have said with regard to CCTV being installed in, and the reason where one of our court staff inside the lift. The Kolkata police came, they did not arrest him. He was allowed to go, and subsequently he surrendered and he was granted bail. The Calcutta High Court otherwise is completely covered except for 1 or 2 dark spots which are not covered. But the lifts were not covered. And this poor girl was molested inside the lift. So it's just a suggestion that they should also install CCTV in the lifts, which is very, very important.
If the point, just take note of it. The officers are.
I have something to say, Milord. I have a serious objection, Milord, this off the cuff, Milord, without
That's
any.
all right.
they're being
Yeah, just give me a
investigated
suggestion.
You've heard the
Just to go on the media thing.
Mr.
This is not for the media.
Suggestion-
This is for
One
the
second, let's not
CCTV.
get lost in this. Suggestion has been made. It's of everybody. We have not passed any directions. The officers are here. Let them just bear it in mind, that's all.
Lords, there is one more suggestion and it's not off the cuff. This is in our prayer. We are seeking a digital bed vacancy
I've already pointed
monitor
out this.
outside each
We've
medical college.
we've
and
just
hospital.
flagged that while passing an order on the IHMS. We've dealt with the availability of beds.
Yes, my lord. It was
My lords,
order.
my lords may,
That's why we
my lord, just one more thing I didn't want to interrupt while my lords were dictating the order. Is that the notification setting up the security audit committee is in front of me, and it includes only various officials, bureaucrats, selected by the. We are saying if the representatives of the senior doctors and the junior doctors may be on that committee and work together to verify the work is being done and constructively make suggestions, then it would only be
But
to
they
the
have to be
benefit.
at work for them to be in a committee which will look at their suggestions, right? If they are not at work, how?
They are all at work, my lords. My lords, they are all
They
at
have,
work.
they have joined now.
All right.
They are all at work.
Except 7, there is a relay
Back to
strike,
work.
hunger strike of 7 doctors going on, but we'll handle that, Milord, that.
All right.
My lord,
Just consider this, that on the security audit committee,
What they are wanting, Milord, is that they're given a media, we are constantly meeting the doctors and doing what they are wanting as far as possible. But
My
what they are
lords, that
wanting
is
is that we
not
hold
true.
elections, Milord, in every hospital.
second,
That is
my
not.
lord,
My
may I
lords,
please-
if we may just make our
My lord,
submissions,
we have-
and
There
then
can't be elections.
Trivedi may of course
We
must
do this.
respond.
Mr. Rakesh Reddy, Senate Counsel, Senior Counsel appearing in West Bengal, has assured the court that the representatives of the state government are continuing to be in
Interactive.
active contact
Yes.
with the doctors
That's right.
so that all steps which are being taken to upgrade the infrastructure.
Come up, Milord, and tell us.
We made that.
But my lords, then
Yeah,
then we before my lords, and then we don't want to trouble my lords. If we can just be
I-
on the
I don't
committee,
want
my
to
lords,
trouble
then that
my
will be
lords.
helpful.
Let-
Deal with
let's
that. I
not
think we'll get on
trouble,
with
I
it.
will trouble.
Mr. Sibyl,
Report on behalf of the Calcutta Police, Madam. Just take it on record.
Lord, your
Mr.
lordship will
President.
have a few
It's
minutes.
circulated already, Madam. That's all.
My lord,
Mr. That is the active.
Yes, that investigation is going on. Therefore, I don't want to make an issue of it.
My lord, may I just be permitted to say a few words?
Have you given a copy to the
Yes.
solicitor?
No, madam, these are,
Uh,
don't give a copy.
My lord,
Investigation is going on.
No difficulty with those.
what is it?
The court will ask.
What is he submitting? We don't have. a
We
copy.
don't make.
This one, the
My lords, there's just one. This is the Ratire Shathi issue that my lords had said that due to the fact,
Yes,
may I?
yes.
Due to the fact that there was a civic volunteer that is the main accused, that the band of civilians that they are recruiting, that they should consider and perhaps disband. Have doubled down on that. And they have various notifications that I have placed in my application. Now, my lords, if I may point out the fact, they won't deny the fact that they have doubled down on that. But if I may point out the Calcutta High Court order that they are violating in this regard, saying that no law and order functions may be discharged by civic volunteers and such civilians. This court in Nandini Sundar also said that SPOs must be disbanded and civilians cannot discharge these functions, my lord. So, my lords, we have placed 3 or 4 orders, if my lords will permit, to set aside then the Ratire Shathi scheme. We have placed the application. If they would like to respond to it, do it on another date or today, whatever my
Nobody
lords.
is being now in the manner in which it did. He was 2005, under which all the hospitals in India, including the public hospitals in Delhi, they are all recruiting under this act. The security agencies employed, which security agencies are licensed, and pursuant to that, they are employed. So now all recruitments are being done under this act as everywhere. So it's a central act, not our act,
My lord,
and
this,
uniformly being applied everywhere in the entire country.
my lord, this act was interpreted.
Security agencies.
Private Security Agencies Regulation Act 2005. I've got a copy of this.
Hospital is
No, it's general.
It's really up for the recruitment of private
Yes.
security guards. We have Maharashtra, I remember, called the first act in the country.
Like
which,
this group 4, etc. in
Recruited
Delhi,
for private security.
at the home residential.
But they are now saying they're not recruiting anybody under this act at all.
My lords,
It's-
on in their affidavit, which we have somehow managed to read,
Why don't you do this? Next time you want to argue something, give everybody some notice of an application. Otherwise, we keep on springing up issues like this.
my lords, we served it 2 days ago. We served it 2
We
days
allow
ago.
governments to function, take over their powers over here. I mean, we are supervising, monitoring because a very serious accident took place, very serious incident took place. But let them do their work on the ground and come back to us, report to us on the next.
My lords, just on ask them, number one, are they recruiting such people? Because in para 5 of the
Said they are
affidavit,
not recruiting anybody under the Act of 2005.
No, we are recruiting under 2000. Earlier it was,
my
they were
lords,
being.
private
recruited
security,
with the
why should they?
Administrative orders, they were being recruited. And they were not,
Private
they
security,
were
my
mainly meant, this gentleman who is, and I am using this expression, gentleman is not yet convicted. So he was not recruited under this act. He was recruited under the government notified administrative orders issued by the police. So now they were not meant, he was not posted even in the hospital. So it's not that somebody who is deliberately chosen and posted in the hospital, he has done something other than he was not being supervised. So that was a.
My lords, the
incident-
CBI charge sheets, my
Somebody
lords,
being
in their current
recruited under
affidavit.
This act.
How many such civic volunteers do you have in West Bengal?
1,514 at last
We
count.
have given the figures
For the
which your lordships have mentioned in the order, my lord.
But how are them actually?
This is now under the security agencies, my lord, who
So
are
these
like,
1,500 civic volunteers whom you have, who recruits them? What are their qualifications?
so it is the security agency which recruits.
Kolkata police.
They are either the retired.
recruiting them, my lord.
Through a notification, you are challenged before the Calcutta High Court.
Registered under this.
So this civic
Act.
volunteer,
The people are not
this
selected by the
person who
government.
committed the crime was a civic volunteer supposedly.
Yes.
Now,
Civic volunteer.
under what was he recruited?
But they recruited through a notification, my lord.
That's a
Am I
government
audible, my lord?
They were recruited under this government.
And that
order
notification was under challenge before Kolkata High Court.
Posted at the hospital.
Still continuing with
No,
that?
they are not being
All
recruited or posted
my
in the
lord,
hospital.
at para 5.
All posting in the hospital.
He was posted in the hospital.
But are you recruiting these people generally under that 2011 government order?
And my lords,
But
what is
not
the
for-
verification done? The man had cases against him, particularly of domestic violence. None of that verification is done when a man is appointed as a civic volunteer, which gives him access, including a motor.
Therefore, Mr. Dwivedi, on the next occasion, we want this to be flagged. How many civic volunteers do you have? What is the verification of antecedents you do? Where are they posted? Are you posting them
Now
in
the
schools?
civic volunteers are not being posted.
They joined their place of duty.
Where else are they being posted?
Right duty.
My lord, they control the police stations. The entire police station is now run by the civic volunteers.
So tell us-
Ratire-
Valid affidavit.
The civic state of West Bengal shall file an affidavit on the explaining of civic volunteers to the state, semicolon, bracket 2, the modalities for recruitment, semicolon, the qualifications for recruitment, semicolon, bracket 4, the verification of
procedure,
antecedents which is carried out before executions, in which the civic volunteers are assigned duties, semicolon, and bracket 6, the payments made to civic volunteers, whether on a day, full stop. The affidavit shall specifically disclose the selection process which is followed for the recruitment of the civic volunteers and the steps which have been taken to ensure, in any event, in sensitive establishments such as hospitals and schools,
So great.
which may be, and which may be particularly vulnerable.
Or police
to
stations,
the,
my lords.
uh,
My lords, or police stations, my lords may consider. Hospital, schools or police stations.
Let us file the affidavit, you know, then. Let us file the affidavit, you know, then.
You first file your affidavit to know what are you doing political patronage on people who are totally unverified and, you know.
Police
We're
force
so grateful, my lord.
sourcing.
So this particular person,
So the affidavit shall specifically disclose whether any of the civic volunteers are assigned duties in or in connection with police stations or the investigation of crime.
because the vehicle assigned below commissioner is registered in his name, his job apparently personnel in the hospital and their families, and he has complete access to a barrack adjacent to the hospital. So it's wrong to say that he's not associated and not given.
Something we want to look at your submissions.
My lords, before the hearing.
Serve a day before the affidavit.
So great.
My lord, would your lordship just hear me for 5 minutes before,
Just-
few
just-
minutes?
What,
We'll take it up now on the next date of.
just one word may be added.
My lord,
We have to complete another hearing today by 4 o'clock. We've got half an hour for.
I understand.
No, there's also one
I
very
will
important
not
issue which
take
I
up
have
too much of your
to point out, Your Lordship.
Let me finish. My lord, I won't take up too much of your time. I just want to, number one, the state of West Bengal in its affidavit has admitted all doctors are back at work. Please, my lord, make a note of that. So that this allegation is no longer made against them, that they are not at work. They've said on a signed affidavit that they are back at work. Now, my lord, there is one, that there are nevertheless outstanding issues. I said it on the last occasion, despite the fact that there are outstanding issues, the doctors have agreed to go back to work. They have kept their word made by me to this honorable court. They've gone back for work. Only a few of them remain on hunger strike. That is a fact which I will deny. Now, my lord, I just want to point out the reason for that and see whether the resolution so that even that hunger strike is withdrawn. My submission is towards that end. Now, my lord, in the application filed by my learned friend, Ms.
How many
Kaur,
doctors are on hunger strike?
are on hunger strike only.
Doctors in turns, Lord.
Only,
Oh, no.
only, no, my
Yes,
lord, the doctors on strike, on hunger strike. The doctors are on hunger strike. Out of 8, 3 have been hospitalized.
in all
1
7.
second, please. You can just wait. 3 of them, their condition deteriorated, and for that reason, they have been hospitalized. The rest continue to be on hunger strike. Now, I want to just leave you, my lord, with a thought and a suggestion. We are all interested that this hunger strike be withdrawn because we are worried about the health of these doctors. Now, my lord, I want to point out to one letter which is annexed at page 90 of my learned friend Ms. Karuna's application. I will just read the relevant passage to you.
Please tell us what it is about.
I'll
We
tell,
will not
I'll
read
tell,
it out.
I'll tell. It's addressed by the state of West Bengal. No, it's addressed to the state of West Bengal, my lord. And it says, 1 minute. 11 to students' unions have not been conducted since the year 2022. Now, my lord, your lordship will take it from me. The law prescribes the conduct of elections annually by the university. My lord, your lordship will take it from me that the cause of what has happened in RG Corps is the fact that from 2022 onwards, no student elections have been held. And as a consequence, nominated people, my lord, nominated people from different political parties are performing the role which a student union would otherwise perform. This is the cause of what happened in RG Corps. Favoritism and threat culture is coming from this absence of complying with statutes. The law says you shall hold a student
I
of
think,
the
you know,
university.
Ms. Jaising, our entire
Then
campus of-
I have a request to make.
Lord, where are we
My
leading?
lord, I'm sorry. Let me allow me to finish. My lord, I have a request. I have a request to
Going
make.
overboard.
that is, we would be expanding the ambit of a proceeding.
Yeah, well,
much
allow
beyond
me
the
to make a
campus that
request.
you have entered.
1 minute, please. Concluding, allow me if they don't interrupt. My lord, allow me to make a
Then
request.
Any,
Light.
any release which you want to seek in that regard before the bench under 226, you can move. to
Yes,
Calcutta High Court.
your lord,
What-
yes, be satisfied with that order. Your lordship may
You don't
kindly.
have to give any
No,
liberty.
my lord.
Plan is open.
No,
you
my
can
lord, I have filed an application in this court. The argument will be it's pending in the Supreme Court.
If nobody
I
was-
just want that clarification.
That is happening.
I want that clarification
You withdraw
that
the
they can go to the High Court.
You withdraw your application so that you can pursue your remedies in accordance with law.
I'll do that.
My lords, very
One thing.
briefly, the task
My-
force.
You give the court master the number, he will
Second, let
permit
me
you to
finish.
withdraw the application.
1 second, 1 second. My lord, just hear me. No, this is not right.
They are
This kind of
belittling the whole
Ms.
exercise.
Ms. Jaising, we are not going to enter into the field
I
of elections
understand.
for student union
I-
bodies. That's not the remit of this proceeding.
I understand what is being put to me, but before you pass an order saying withdraw the application, your lordship may say withdraw the
There's no
prayer
application record.
in the application for the conduct of an election. There are other prayers which
My
may
lords, that might be
remain.
a good.
In the application for the conduct of elections, so as to enable the petition applicants to pursue such remedies that are available.
Liberty.
All right, now call out Jay Davis. We have a.
My lords,
just
I'm
one-
also,
one rather-
I'm withdrawing the same prayer.
I-
I am
I-
withdrawing the same prayer.
I have a rather pressing, but I'll make a
I'm
very brief.
withdrawing the same prayer. My lords has
With
allowed.
respect to the police commissioner's revelation of the identity of the victim, Bharat passed an order, an oral order, and told the other side to go to the Calcutta High Court and say that this is within their remit and not within your lordship's remit. But unfortunately, I did have to come back after your lordship was so clear about it. But unfortunately, my lord, when we went to Calcutta High Court, and the Calcutta High Court has passed an order now saying, in view of what was said, we need a clarification. What was said, told to the High Court by Ms. Guruswamy on that day was that the application is not disposed of. It's still pending.
Now they've withdrawn the application.
No, my
No,
lords,
no.
these intervention applications are pending here before my lords.
But that's all they do. Intervention applications can't prevent the High Court from assuming jurisdiction over.
But now, we kindly see the High Court's order.
My lord, the High Court is very hesitant and quite understandably.
Yes.
If you are aggrieved by an order of the High Court, challenge it in an SLP.
No, I'm not agree by the
We
order.
are not going to allow orders of the High Court to just be shown to us and we.
No,
Not
my
going-
lord, what do I do, my lord? My lord, I came to this.
And
You
applications are.
file, if the High Court rejects the petition
They
and
haven't rejected the petition. They've asked for a clarification. They say, please see, my lord.
to any clarification on the data.
But then what do I do, my lord? This is a serious matter. Please see.
You invite an order of dismissal, come here, not going to show us the order of the.
Yes, my lord, please see, it's a short order.
You can show the lights.
I can show your lordship the live streaming of what is happening.
We have copies of the order.
The High Court.
This is why I asked the lordship to just put it in the order last time.
Have interventions here, they file writ petitions there, they file responses 20 minutes before.
This is obfuscation by Ms. Guruswamy, and it's not fair to me.
In the next 8 years. We'll see.
But only because this matter is pressing, Manoj, there is a serious violation by a
We'll
chief.
see what we
commissioner.
can do with that.
Yes.
Whatever.
Next week, my lords, of November 6th for
Already
us to file our
documents. We are
response.
getting for an interview. We'll close the proceeding here. We've spent enough time. We have a half an hour now. for
Manoj,
next
may I
matter.
just,
Obliged, man.
Manoj, may I
Lordships are
just,
Make
indicating,
it 10, please.
kindly, lordships are indicating the next date.
Ma'am,
In 3 weeks, we'll take it up after the Diwali holidays.
Very
Look, there are two issues of immense public importance that.
On the next date, please. On the next.
Very well, very well.
Manoj, may I just renew my to approach the High Court? I don't want to be stuck, Manoj. I don't want to
We have
agitate.
said, if you want to do that, to pursue your remedies in accordance with law, we have said that.
Very, very well, Manoj. Much obliged, much obliged.